precisely 6 a.m., the sound of the alarm clock pierces the air. Sandy drags herself out of bed and begins her morning routine with a quick shower. After her shower, she prepares a simple breakfast. Grabbing a clean bowl from the dishwasher, she empties into it a packet of instant oatmeal. She pours in a cup of milk, stirs, and heats the mixture in the microwave. While waiting for her oatmeal to cook, she dresses for the day, mindful of the weather. Fully dressed now, she removes her oatmeal from the microwave, which has now cooled just enough to suit her taste. It is her favorite flavor, apple cinnamon. As she savors each bite, she is reminded of her mother, who always made sure Sandy ate a warm breakfast before leaving the house in the morning. Checking the time on her phone, she hurriedly swallows the last few mouthfuls of her oatmeal before heading out. As she steps into the street, a gust of wind blows back her hair. She covers her head with the hood of her coat, tightens the scarf around her neck, and braces for her walk to the train station. After settling into her seat on the train, memories of her mother stir again. She takes out her phone and texts, "Hey Mom, thanks for the scarf you knitted me. It came in real handy this morning. Love always." Pulling into the parking lot of the largest supermarket in town, Joe could already see it was going to be a challenge to find parking on this Saturday morning. He decides to first drop off his wife Melissa, so she could get a head start on the shopping they need to do. Meanwhile, he battles to find a free spot amongst the crowd of other waiting cars. Inside, Joe finally finds Melissa, whose cart is already loaded with packages of organic snacks and drinks. He knows Melissa is easily tempted by fancy words that promise health benefits. It makes her feel good to know that she is making healthy decisions. In the past, Joe would try to reason with her, explaining that health is not about consuming specific items and more about general lifestyle. Today, he decides to simply move on. As the chef in the family, Joe looks forward every week to the process of selecting meats and vegetables, imagining all the ways he can flavor and cook them. Free samples are being offered at the familiar locations. Melissa makes sure to hit up every station. They agree that the chicken sausage is their favorite and buy 2 packs. The buy one get one free fresh pasta attracts Joe, while the sale on cheesecake draws Melissa. As they wait in line to check out, Melissa examines their overflowing shopping cart and realizes that they are over budget. She puts back the snacks and drinks that were clearly impulse buys, and happily claims that she is learning to be a great shopper. Joe can only smile at the expression on her face. 5 months ago, when they first got married, he never imagined he would enjoy these Saturday morning grocery trips. Now he finds them a peaceful satisfaction, a welcome change from his work all week. All week, Frank and Bob have been looking forward to Sunday afternoon. That is when their favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, plays their first game of the season. The Eagles have a new coach and many new, young, and talented players. Football can be a very unpredictable game, with weather, injuries, referees, and luck all affecting the outcome of the game. On top of that, new players and coaches may need some time to learn to work as a team. For almost a decade now, Frank and Bob have watched Eagles games together. They met through work, but their friendship continues even though Frank left the company a few years back. Their wives have become close and sometimes even join them for the games. When their sons were still young, they used to be just as excited about these Sunday afternoons. Now in high school, they'd rather hang out with their friends than their fathers. Nonetheless, Frank and Bob have kept up their friendship and this tradition, and couldn't think of a better way to spend Sunday afternoons. This week, they will be watching the game at Bob's house, who is anxious to show off the new sound system he installed in his basement. As Frank walks up the driveway, carrying a pack of their favorite beer, Bob walks out to meet him, already dressed in Eagles uniform. After some playful punching, they come together for a quick embrace. Once inside, they are greeted by the familiar sounds of the pre-game show. It's going to be a great season. Julie was sitting in bed late at night playing with her brand new smartphone. Earlier that week, she had been visited by her children and grandchildren to celebrate her 70th birthday, and had received the phone as a gift from her granddaughter Mary. Julie had been widowed for 5 years now. Since she lived hours away from the rest of the family, Mary thought the phone would be a good way to keep them in touch and take up some of her time. Up until then, Julie had never really been interested in catching up with modern technology, but finally owning her own smartphone made her feel youthful, and she decided to join Facebook since that was what she had noticed all the younger people were doing. However, when making her profile page, she was embarrassed to put up a picture of herself, since she thought she looked much too wrinkly and nobody would want to talk to her. To remedy this, she downloaded a picture of a beautiful 20-something-year-old from Google, posted it under her name, and went to sleep. The next morning, Julie woke up and enthusiastically logged into Facebook in hopes that she would have 1 or 2 new friends. She could not believe her eyes. Her inbox was full of friend requests from dozens and dozens of young, handsome men that were complimenting her beauty and wanted to know all about her. Julie decided to accept only the best-looking ones and began chatting with them day and night, never letting them know that they were actually talking to a grandma. The next time Julie met up with Mary, she thanked her so much for the phone and remarked, "I haven't felt so young and pretty in years." Mary was confused and asked, "Why?" Julie just gave a mischievous smile and changed the topic. Jennifer loved going out to bowl every Tuesday night. She always liked bowling, but had never joined a bowling league until her friend Paul told her about a new league one day. The two friends enjoyed going to Lucky Lanes on weekends, but had to wait for the league games to finish before they could bowl. It did not bother them since they knew what time the league games were over. Paul talked to the manager of Lucky Lanes one day and discovered that a new league was forming soon. "That's great," said Paul. "I'm going to ask Jennifer if she wants to join too," added Paul. When Jennifer heard the news, she wasn't as excited as Paul thought she would be. "What's wrong, Jen?" asked Paul. "I just don't know if I'm good enough to play in a league," answered Jennifer. "Don't you have to be a good bowler to bowl in a league?" Paul thought about it for a while before going back to the manager to ask if the new league was for good bowlers or anyone could join. The manager told him that this new league was for beginners and added that Paul and Jennifer would be some of the best players in the new league. Paul was very excited once again. When he told Jennifer what the manager had said, Jennifer's response was, "Where do I sign up?" This made Paul very happy. Before long, the two friends were bowling away in their new team and league. The manager was right. Paul and Jennifer were amongst the best players. They both loved bowling in a league. They got to wear team bowling shirts and hats, and all the refreshments were included in the league fees. Soon they were knocking down pins. At the end of the season, their team won the trophy for coming in first place.